Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Saturday, Saturn Day, March 23rd, and the energies in the day adds up and reduced to number 7 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to today's energy, Saturn is the ruler of the day, but also Neptune plays a big aspect within today. So the Neptune aspect of the day comes from the energies in the day adding up and reducing to the number 7 vibration. And with Neptune influencing the day with the number 7 vibration, it brings the feeling of truth seeking and trying to make sense of something, trying to understand something on a deeper level. More than likely, something occurred yesterday. And from something occurring yesterday, Friday, March 22nd, today is a day where you could find yourself like the star card in the tarot, trying to pick up the pieces, trying to be more vulnerable, trying to be more reflective, trying to understand this thing about yourself. And the number 7 energy is a spiritual energy where we go inside of ourselves and we're probably trying to understand something physical or a material aspect of our lives, but we're going inside of ourselves because more than likely there's a psychology behind this physical outcome that keeps happening in our lives. So to me, the psychology behind it is like the electricity that moves the thing. It's like the skeletal system. So today we are in a space where we're trying to, make sense of something that doesn't make sense for whatever reason. But when it comes to the energies in today, be careful not to beat up on yourself or blame yourself because the moon is in Virgo. So with the moon in Virgo, it's natural that our inner world is in a space where we feel like it's our fault or we could have done more. And for me, it's important for me to always remind myself, like whenever I make a mistake, I recognize that I made a mistake. I stop and I assess the mistake and I try to learn from it, whatever I could learn from it in that moment. And once I've taken from the mistake, whatever I could take from it, I now say to myself, now that I know better, I'll do better next time. Because clearly I didn't know any better why I did whatever it is that I did, even when I think I should know better. Clearly there's something off. Clearly there's something that's missing, something that's broken. There's something off. Why, when we think we should know better, but we keep doing the same thing over and over again? There's something we don't understand. And instead of trying to understand ourselves deeper and getting to the root of it, a lot of the times we beat ourselves up. And I know I do. I find myself doing that a lot, like feeling like, I don't say, oh, you're so stupid, but I sure feel it. Like I sure feel it on the inside. Like, how could you do this again? Or how could you have done that? And it's like, clearly there's something off why, we do the things that we know we shouldn't do, even when we should know better. And I feel like, for some of us, we could find ourselves, in that reflective space, like trying to understand, trying to make sense of it all. When it comes to the spirit animal, we have the horse. And with the horse coming out as a spirit animal, the horse brings me to freedom. And with the horse coming out as a spirit animal, the energies in today is bringing me to restriction in some way. Us trying to restrict ourselves in some way. Us trying to compose ourselves or be a good girl, be a good boy in some way. I look at how the moon is positively aspecting Uranus conjunct Jupiter in Taurus. So it brings me to a lot of practical energy where it's like, okay, this makes sense. This is the traditional way of doing things. This is the way how we've always done things. but it's like there is this sense of familiarity when it comes to certain things. But even though something feels familiar, you know, just because something is familiar, it could be destructive. But when it comes to today's energies, it's like something feels familiar, and for the sake of familiarity, we can find ourselves restricting ourselves in some way, or holding ourselves back, like knowingly restricting ourselves for the sake of familiarity. So to me, knowingly restricting ourselves for the sake of familiarity brings me to say being in a family setting or a family environment. And because it's our culture to go about doing something a certain way, I could see someone betraying themselves in order to just go with the flow. It's like not wanting to ruin the vibe, not wanting to kill the vibe. So it's like, I think of the person who says, I no longer want to eat certain things, or I'm no longer drinking or whatever, but it's like in the presence of, say, family or friends, and it's like, but this is the culture, this is what we do. And it's like all of a sudden going against whatever it is that you said you were going to do in order to go along with what everybody else is going along with, because this is just what we do. Even though I feel like there's a back and forth, because there's one aspect of us that want to keep the peace and go along with what feels safe and familiar and people please, you know, be a good boy, be a good girl. But then there's the other part of us that is like questioning it, like, but why are we doing this? So it's almost like a back and forth, an opposition happening, where there's a part of us that is reasoning, having a reasoning mind, and or being aware of our reasoning mind and using it to do just that. But then there's an other aspect of ourselves that doesn't want to rock the boat. I was having a conversation with one of my brothers the other day, and we were talking about independent thinkers. And I think I shared this with you guys in another video as I'm saying it out loud. I feel like I've said it before, but you know, someone might be seeing this for the first time. And we're going back and forth about independent thinkers. And he asked me, or I asked him, like, you know, what is an independent thinker? And for me, my response is, in order for a person to be an independent thinker, number one, you will have to be okay with being an outcast. And then number two, you will have to be able to trust your intuition in order for it to guide you. Like if you can't trust your intuition and you're not okay with, and when I say okay with being an outcast, like for me personally, like I don't like the feeling of people being upset with me or being the bad guy. But at the end of the day, like, it's my nature to do what I feel is the right thing to do. And that depends on each individual. And for me, right thing to do in the sense, like whatever my intuition, whatever feels strongly to me when it comes to my intuition and my reasoning mind, that's the right thing to do. And I can't know that and act like I don't know that and abandon that for what everybody else thinks in order to go along and get along. So to me, to be an independent thinker, we first have to be able to trust ourselves, and also to be okay with being the bad guy or be okay with being rejected. And when it comes to like trusting yourself, to me, journaling is very beneficial when it comes to that. Journaling in the sense that, say you get a premonition, you get an intuition, a premonition, or a dream, you just keep a track of it. You keep a record. And the more you do so over time, you'll see that there's foresight, there's guidance when it comes to things in your life. And it's a matter of dismissing and overlooking them, but the guidance is always there. And the more we keep a record and become aware and start expecting it, the more it shows up. But then it also builds up our confidence within the universe and ourselves and what it is that we're capable of. So when it comes to today's energies, to me, there's definitely some reflection and trying to understand things on a deeper level when it comes to our place in the world and also in relation to others. When it comes to the tarot, I feel like this is bopping up. Ooh, interesting. So the Strength card comes out. And with the Strength card coming out, the Strength card brings me to taming the beast within. Or taming the beast. Like when you look at the Strength card is the eighth card. And the number 8 deals with systems and cycles. And when I think about that number 8 energy dealing with systems and cycles, like everything in life runs off a system or a cycle. I'm thinking about the athlete that's trying to achieve a certain kind of goal. In order for the athlete to achieve a certain kind of goal, they have to be systematic and consistent when it comes to their approach, when it comes to what it is that they're consuming, their physical activities, and all of that. And the lion on the card brings me to that beast within, the part of us that sabotages us, the part of us that gets in the way of our success. And when I look at this card, it brings me to someone taming that aspect of themselves so that they could use it as strength, opposed to, your own, a part of you being your biggest opposition. Where in the reversal position, to me, this card is, in the reversal position, when I see this card, it's like an imbalance happening within us. And from the imbalance happening within us, we don't realize how strong we are and that we can take on anything. So we're easily intimidated by things that shouldn't intimidate us, because we're always supported, we're always guided. In the reversal position, it's like we forget, we're unaware. In the upright position, we remember, we know. But with this card coming out, the strength card with the energies in the day adding up to number 7 vibration, it brings me to just that like discipline and strength is what's needed. So you're searching for something today. And when it comes to the thing that you're searching for, that you're trying to understand, discipline, self-discipline, strength, self-discipline. Self-discipline is what's missing. Because with the self-discipline, you'll be able to create more freedom for yourself. And self-discipline from the strength card could look like you always ending up in a situation where whenever it's time for you to set boundaries, you always end up going against your greater judgment and people please. You go against what you know is right so that everybody else can feel comfortable or be okay. Only they're resenting yourself later, or feeling stuck, or feeling obligated, or being dragged into commitments, things that you really didn't want to commit to. Or when I look at the strength card, it brings me to that saying, it's, I rather be uncomfortable in the moment than to be resentful long term. So it's like in the moment where you gotta say no thank you, or in the moment where you gotta say no, or stand your ground or whatever, it's like in that moment, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but at least you don't have to live with long-term resentment because you didn't you didn't honor yourself. So when it comes to today's energies, it just brings me to strength and discipline. In what ways can you become more disciplined? Because that's the answer when it comes to this. So I think of say yesterday's energy. Maybe someone gave into something and, say, for example, someone's been saving and have a plan and a goal, and then yesterday they threw it out the window and tied themselves to a contract. And it's like, how did this happen? How did I get here? And, from it now today, they're reflecting on the lack of freedom that they have because of these decisions, and the fact that the decisions came from insecurity, not feeling enough. So because a person didn't feel enough, or don't feel enough, or never felt enough, they agree to a relationship that's never been working, that hasn't been working. And they know with this relationship, it comes with a lot of stress because they're taking on so much responsibility with the relationship, and it's one-sided. And it's like, yesterday you agreed to give it another shot. Yesterday you agreed to go at it again because maybe, the image of being associated with this person or being in this group, it's like it completes you in some way in your imagination. And it's like, come to today, it's like reflecting on, why did I do that again? Why did I betray myself again? How did I get here again? It's like reflecting on that. And with the horse as a spirit animal, it's like freedom is what you're seeking. And the strength card comes out to say the only way you'll gain freedom is by being strong, is by feeling the fear and doing what needs to be done anyways. So knowing in the moment that you're uncomfortable, but knowing that it's okay, this moment shall pass, and what needs to be done has to be done because if not, I won't have peace. But yeah, when it comes to today's energies, major reflection, and Saturn is the ruler of the day. So Saturn's definitely helping with the level of reflection that's needed today. Today is the 23rd. So there's a sudden and unexpected change about the day where it's like, you know, you may have had plans for things to go a certain way, but things are changing. You know, sudden and unexpected changes are presented within the day, and everybody is kind of off within their own world, trying to understand or make things or trying to make sense of things for themselves. So, you know, those of us who are extroverted might have a hard time today, as it feels a little bit more lonelier than ever because everybody is off within the cubicles of their world trying to make sense. But, you know, it's just important not to beat yourself up or nitpick at yourself. And also when it comes to us helping and being of service on a day like today, some of us might want to escape the silence and the stillness that comes within the day that you can't escape by wanting to be of service or wanting to fix others. But just know that sometimes our help can hurt when we're helping in ways that a person didn't ask, or a person didn't even know that they need help, and we're forcing it on them. So when it comes to the energies in today, though, reflection, deeper understanding is necessary. And the best way to come to that is giving into the silence that the day comes with, and using journaling to help us to get to the bottom of certain things. Such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me, because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon, where I share exclusive content, and also to become a part of the meetup group, which is my favorite thing on Patreon, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a purple heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.